Happy New Year. I hope your year is off to a good start. I really wanted to share about a project that I'm embarking on this year that I completed last year as well, that I really enjoyed and made a really big difference in my experience of my life and the quality, I would say, even of my life. It was very powerful and something I've mentioned here and there over the course of the year, and there's been some interest in me talking about it a little bit, and that is one little word. This is a year-long class-guided self-reflection project in a sort of memory-keeping package, I would say, brought by Allie Edwards, who is my memory-keeping guru. I talk about her ad nauseum, I know, but I can't say enough good things. She really, finding her blog and her classes and her products and just all of her content has helped me so much re-embrace my love and rekindle my love of memory keeping, and has been very impactful in my life this past year in 2017. And this is a class that I started in 2016 as a new mommy, and I only did a month and a half of it, and then I just kind of got swallowed up in new mommyhood. And I really regretted not seeing it through. And then was one of my big goals was to see it through in 2017. And I did. I did the whole year. It is a class you can purchase through Allie. She doesn't talk about it a lot on her blog because it is one of her paid for content, projects. She is very, I would say, giving of her memory keeping in free, for free on her blog and such. But if you really want to delve into this project, I recommend signing up for the class. And, for the whole year, I don't know exactly off the top of my head how much it is, but it's somewhere between $30 and $40, I would imagine. I will have a link exactly on her website where you can learn all about the project and sign up for the class if you want. It's open enrollment. You can sign up at any time. So every month, you get invited back to the classroom for the current month's class. And what that consists of is guided prompts from Allie on this journey. So at the very beginning of the year, you pick a word that's really resonating for you, something you either just really want to pursue or just really resonates with you, whatever, a powerful word for you in that year or at this moment. And you come back to that word month after month. Now, the class is not time consuming. It takes me maybe a couple of hours once a month to really fully embrace in this way. You don't have to do a crafty album like I do. You could do, just journaling or even just listening. I think it's a powerful class, and it's something that I would even, if I couldn't craft, I would even just listen to the class's prompts and read them and watch the videos. The classroom consists of a PDF handout, which outlines everything for the month with great pictures of Allie's own projects, and a video of her guiding you through what the month's prompts are. And like I said, the prompts help you really approach your word throughout the year and kind of keep it really present. And that has been the best part of the project for me, is coming back to my word once a month instead of like typical. I feel like this is a very typical experience for many people with New Year's resolutions. You have a resolution or an intention or something at the beginning of the year. It's a very powerful time when people tend to, like to start things afresh. And you're all gung-ho about it, maybe for a month, maybe for two, and then it just you just get swallowed up in life and it kind of slips off your radar. And maybe you think about it later in the year, but it's not something you come back to. Having this class has helped me really keep it present and alive. And I can't say enough good things about it. So what I'm going to do in the rest of this video is I'm going to take you through my 2017 album and talk you through my word that I chose and show you the whole year album and give you a good glimpse of what my final product was. Not everybody's final product is going to look the same. I followed Allie's prompts pretty closely, but she gives you, I would say she gives you permission to approach it in any way that's palatable to you, which is one of the great things about her, is that she's not just giving you her way and saying this is the way. She's giving you her way as an example and then saying do with it what you will. I just really like her style, so I followed it pretty closely, and it really was very effective for me. Now, I'm going to probably say this again, but this is very personal. Obviously, this is a private journey. A word that I chose for a whole year that is very personal, something that resonated with me, and then I'm basically showing you what amounts to a diary, more or less, of my experience of the word throughout the year. So I just ask that you please be respectful of that. I am choosing to share this, and I know that it will be helpful to some of you because a lot of you really asked for this. But please just be kind and respectful of my sharing something very, very personal. But yeah, let's jump in. I will show you the album. I'm going to show you some stuff that I bought, like a lot of stuff that I bought for 2018. And then at the end, I'll pop back on and we'll talk a little bit about how I am gearing up for 2018 and what my word is and all that. Okay, so yeah, let's go. Okay, so let's start by taking a look at my 2017 One Little Word album. Again, I'm just going to reiterate, this is very private, personal stuff, obviously. I'm choosing to share it with you, so I just ask that you respect that. And yeah, please keep in mind this is a personal project. This is a project I did for me. It's basically like a diary for myself. So it is about me, and I think that's okay. It is okay to give yourself permission to document your own experience and your own stories for yourself. So this is the album. I used Ellie Edwards products that I purchased last year. Did the spine label and everything. And I'm hoping, yeah, it pretty much fits in the frame. Okay, good. So my word, again, for the year was create. This just really spoke to me. At the end of last year, something I really wanted to embrace, and I'm gonna share more about that with you as we flip through here. So the first step of the class was to make kind of a, some sort of tribute to your word and some sort of selfie, like a self-portrait. This was a picture that Dawn took of me early last year, right after New Year's. We were still in Utah, and I just love the photo. Even though it's super blurry, it's not very good quality, but it just shows me happy, and that is what I wanted to, I felt happy, and I wanted to embrace that feeling and have that be the starting off point of my album. So all of the products you see here are from the One Little Word kit from last year. I have gone ahead and purchased one for this year, which I will quickly unbox with you after we flip through. But the dividers and everything, I just love her products. And the products for this project in particular are designed very simply, and they're meant to just help encourage your stories and also add just a little bit of embellishment. So I really did enjoy the products that she offered this past year. So the first month prompt was about really describing your word, really sharing your reasons for it, a definition for it. She provided all of these cards that you could, choose from to use. There were some other ones as well. I'll read a little bit of this to you. So my word obviously was create. And the definition is to bring something into existence or cause something to happen as a result of one's actions. To cause to come into being as something unique that would not naturally evolve or that is not made by ordinary processes. To evolve from one's own thought or imagination as a work of art or invention. So I took this quite literally in creating, embracing my rekindling joy of doing memory keeping. So that was like quite literally creating content, making content for you. For me is creating, but also not quite as literally with creating magical moments and things like that. I'll read to you my reason why, and I am sorry about the glare, but I have to work with the lighting in the dead of winter here. So this is why I chose this word. this past year. To create magic for myself and my daughter in both big and small moments, to create new pathways to explore and discover, quite literally to return to the physical act of creating through craft as a way to live and remember my stories and learn more about myself and my place in this world. And, it's a very, it's just that I don't know what else to say about it. That's exactly what it meant to me. And then she has some other prompts for you to kind of help you, further consider your word. And then this sheet, I know she had last year as well, or in 2016, I should say. And I think it's something she does almost every year. So it's a way to kind of think about the year. It's kind of like a year goal plan. So in what ways is my word already a part of my life? What do you want more of in this year? And what do you want less of? What do I fear most? What am I most excited about? And then intentions. And she suggests breaking them down into 5 categories: physical, emotional, spiritual, relationships, and creating. Or creative, I should say. So yes, that obviously is a really good launching point for this project. February was about embracing a practice, trying to bring something into your daily or almost daily life for a month and seeing how it helps or affects you or doesn't help you, what have you. I decided to just try a meditation practice, and I used Headspace, which is an app. It's a really great app, and I wish I had kept up with it, but I don't know. I just let it slide. But I did pretty well. You can see I tracked it from the month, and of course I didn't do the whole month, but I think I did pretty well, and February is a short month anyway. But my reason why for choosing that was to start a practice I've been meaning to cultivate for years, to start or end my day with a little peace of mind, and to help clear the clutter, to open up room for creativity. And I really was impacted by this. It really made a difference to me. I'll just read to you what I wrote at the end of the month. I came back and I wrote a reflection. Really proud of my commitment and seeing it through as best I could. Sitting for 10 minutes a day is hard for me, but it feels like it's already working on helping me soften and open up. I started my 2017 Project Life album after stalling for 2 months. I found renewed energy and purpose in creating online content, and I softened the rigidness that was forming in my relationships. I hope to continue this practice. So again, it's something that I'm considering picking up again this year. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how that unfolds. March was a vision board prompt. And instead of doing it separate of the album, Allie this year encouraged people to do it in the album if they chose. So I flipped through some magazines and some catalogs I had on hand, and I picked out some things that spoke to me. And it's basically just collage form in an album. It's a vision board that's kind of, been over the course of a few pages instead of in like one big board. And I just cut out things that spoke to me. These were not, I glued these things on. They weren't necessarily part of the pages that I cut out. This was, but this wasn't. And this was really fun and something that I used to do. I used to actually do a lot of kind of, what do they call it? Collage work as like an young teen. I would make like frames and like cover boxes and things like that. And so this was kind of a blast of the past for me, and just really fun and almost therapeutic process, and something I really enjoyed looking back on this album. April was a prompt where you asked yourself some questions at the beginning of the month. You put them on sticky notes, and then you stuck them around like high traffic areas of your home that you frequent a lot. So for instance, I put one on my bathroom mirror, and I put one on my vanity, I put one on my computer, and I put one in my car. So I could really consider these questions that I asked myself around my word throughout the month. So I asked myself, how do I want to create? What does it really mean to create? What does it look like when I'm really creating? And what does it feel like when I'm creating? And this was a really good thing to touch base with every day. It was a really great way to kind of connect back to my word quite literally at the end of the month. And then I kept track of things that would pop up in my brain. But at the end of the month, I went back and I reflected on all of this. And this was great. And again, these are all very specific guided prompts from Allie. So you're not like trying to figure this stuff out by yourself. You know, she provides the framework for you, and then you make of it what you will. May was a photo prompt, so I picked 8 photos from that month basically, or the month, you know, just around that time. And I wrote my word create, but I wrote it out creating, and then I just very simply labeled them what I thought these pictures symbolized. So creating laughter and joy, that's with Charlotte, look how little she was. Creating family togetherness, that was Easter. Creating memories and stories told in books, that's my December daily album from last year. Creating special bonds, you know, with my dog there. Creating an appreciation of small moments, Dawn with Cece playing peekaboo. We're waiting in line somewhere. Creating new connections, that was like Go Wild and making new friends. Creating content I'm passionate about, that was me. I took a selfie of myself filming one of my Plan With Me's that I really did a lot of last year. And then creating magical moments, that was us at Disney World. Or Disneyland. I can't tell. No, I think that's Disney World, last February. And Cece's first time on the carousel, and she had a ball. So yeah, that was a great prompt. I really like that. June is typically like a checkpoint, I guess, in Allie's class. So this is a worksheet she provided in progress. It was a way for you to kind of check in. So I'll just read you some of the questions in 1 or 2 words. Your one little word experience so far has been, and I wrote hot and cold. What has surprised you most so far this year? What are you most proud of related to your word? Etc. And this was the month we found out we were expecting. The BFP is my big fat positive pregnancy test there, which I wanted to keep in this album. So yeah, a great way to really, again, bring it back to the actual word and do more kind of journaling and less artistic exploration. And I just popped in a picture I took of spring that I really enjoyed. July was a collage prompt, so again, more on the artistic side, more crafty kind of exploration. So she suggested picking a couple of phrases that are important to you right now in relation to your word and your life. So I chose keep moving forward and have courage and be kind, which also happen to be 2 of my favorite Lily and Co bracelets. So yeah, I really enjoyed that because it was, you know, it's kind of therapy through craft. And then August was about sharing what your life looked like right now. This chapter of life. Right now I'm struggling with. Right now I'm celebrating. This chapter of my life is all about, etc. And she, you know, it provided some digital files for you to help embellish your photos if you wanted. I also used stickers from the kit. We were in Utah, so I showed a picture of the Utah sunset. This is Don really struggling with back pain while he's trying to cook. He really wanted to you know, use his smoker out there. He loves cooking. He just hasn't really been able to. A, he's been really busy, and B, he just hasn't been well enough to. So that's been, you know, that was a real struggle at the time. It continues to be. And then celebrating, this was one of our early ultrasound pictures of our baby. So this really paints a picture of my life right at that moment. The things that I was struggling with and celebrating, and etc. September was about pace, and I think this was a new prompt. Pace, rest, and joy. I don't know because I didn't do the full class last year. But I just picked a few pictures that I thought spoke to that prompt. And, you know, a lot of journaling in that. Let's see, October was about either quotes or music lyrics that have to do with your word, which I really love because I love quotes. So I chose to do quotes. And I just looked on Pinterest basically, and I had some already that I liked. But I picked 8 quotes that all centered around the word create, or some variation of that word. I'll read you a couple. this wasn't really a quote, that was more of like a mantra. It's been like a mantra of mine every day. Create a little magic every day. Some days you just have to create your own sunshine. Eat, sleep, create. I love this one from Buddha. What you think, you become. What you feel, you attract. What you imagine, you create. Creativity takes courage, matisse, etc. Really great. Again, kind of a more self-reflective prompt, not as much journaling or crafting, but more about exploration. November was a letter to yourself. So again, this is pretty private, but if you guys want to stop and look at it, it's fine with me. Actually, I'll just read it to you because, hey, we're sharing. So I wrote, Jennifer, what a whirlwind of a year. I am so proud of how you've navigated the ups and downs this year has brought. You have been patient, thoughtful, loving, and kind with yourself, and possibly most important of all, you have been present with yourself through it all. Focusing on creating in all aspects of the word has been an effective and joyful way to do this, and the icing on the cake is that you really found faith and your spiritual footing in the process. You are more grounded and at peace with yourself than ever before. You go, girl. I know I'm cheesy. Remember, through thick and thin, you know who you are. I love you truly. Jennifer. And then I put in a self-portrait from this fall that I really liked. It's not a self-portrait. Dawn took that photo of me. But it's a portrait of myself, so there you go. And then December is wrapping it all up. Facts. Here are some facts of my experience from my journey with my word from this year. And then feelings. How do I feel about where I am right now and how I've been impacted or not? So a really great way to kind of sum everything up and do a year-end reflection. And then things you want to remember about your word. And then Allie suggested putting in a closing self-portrait at this point. I had put one here in the previous month, not knowing that we were going to do that again. So I probably would have used a different photo for that. But I thought this kind of summed up the year well, and kind of brought it full circle, because I started the year, you know, not pregnant, very happy, holding my dog, and here ending the year very pregnant, very happy, and again holding my dog, and you can see my big baby bump right there. So I thought that summed it up. I also, at the end of this album, popped in the cup. I did I would say 1.5 prompts from 2016, and then I gave up on the project. I'm so glad I fully embraced it this past year, but I didn't want to put this in a full album. So this was my 2016 attempt. My word for that year was nurture, which is a great word for a new mommy. But I didn't follow it through, but I wanted to keep that. So that's what's in there. Anyway, that is my 2017 One Little Word album, and I hope this gives you a really good sense of the project and how you can approach it. You don't have to do it like this. Like I said, you can just journal, you can just listen. I think it's such a great year-long journey. So now I'm going to show you the little haul of the things that I bought for 2018, and then we'll talk a little bit about where I'm starting off this year. Okay, so I can't fit everything in the frame because this box is huge. I will say I really appreciate Allie Edwards' packaging. Any products I ever get from her, whether it's a subscription and just like a little padded envelope, or a bigger thing like a kit like this with album, everything comes in a really nice box. It's really well packaged and just very easy to store and navigate. So I'm going to put this to the side and just show you the things that I bought. I bought a lot of things because I love her products and I can't help myself. This is the album I bought for this year. Of course I don't have scissors over here. Hold on, let me grab. Oh, I don't actually need them. And I will show you that her album comes stocked with page protectors. In fact, I think all of her albums I've ever purchased do. Very well packaged. They come perfect. I've never had one arrive damaged. She offered several album options this year. This is the one I chose. And it comes stocked with all the 6x8, this is a 6x8 album, by the way, all the 6x8 page protectors you would need for this project, including those little 3x8 ones, which I really like to use for other projects as well. So that's the album I got, and then I also bought the main kit. And I'm almost positive these products are still available, so I will obviously put a link to her One Little Word section of her website below, and you can shop there if you want. So let's pull this out. It comes in this great pouch like it did last year. I'm going to put the album to the side so we have more room. That's how I stored all the products, and I will use some of the products I have left over for this year as well. So first of all, this year she provides you with some of the cards that before were just digital files that you would print out, and these are on really nice heavy-duty cardstock. You'll see this is the January intentions and the year ahead sheet that I showed you in my album, and then the in progress sheet for, that's usually like, you know, mid-year around June or so. So she provides those things for you this year, pre-printed, which is nice because it's on really nice quality paper. And then she also provides you with a lot of little cards. I'm going to pull these out too. Oh boy, I'm just going to have to rip this a little bit maybe. Yeah, we'll just rip that. It's okay, I don't need to preserve the plastic. So she gives you some of the prompts that you can use either in the first month or throughout the project. It's really up to you. And then some decorative and kind of motivational cards as well. And the color scheme is very similar to last year. Neutral tones, black, gray, white. Instead of the little rubber circles with the months on them, this year she provided cards. And these would be great to use in Project Life. If you don't want to use them in this project with the gold foiling, they're really beautiful, the gray with the gold foiling. So those are gorgeous. Again, you know, you just pick and choose what you want to use for this project, and these are great products that you can use for other projects as well. I don't know why I feel the need to put everything back in plastic. Nobody knows why I'm doing that. A sheet of puffy stickers with little phrases on them. Note to self, this moment, learn your word, one day at a time. Again, in the same color scheme. There's some corkboard pieces, a patch, which I think would be really cool to put like on a hat. Some rubber pieces. I mean, I'm not going to like go through all of these. I will link, like I said, Allie does a whole walkthrough video of all of these products if you want to see them really up close and personal. These little kind of transparent plastic circles with numbers and different phrases on them, and then some paper circles with word design. I also went a little nuts and just basically bought everything. So I bought the dividers, which I guess were sold separately. And I love that they did the big dividers this year. So it really can cover the whole photo. So that's one for each month, which I will certainly put to good use. I bought a couple of the stamp sets. This numbered one and this one with kind of motivational phrases on it. This was kind of a cool thing. I will take this out of the packaging for you to show you. This is not something, I really don't know if I will use this, but I just really wanted to see it as a person who loves planning. And it's like a dashboard, but for your one little word project. So it's got some film on it. It'll be much clearer when I take that off. But it's like a little dashboard that you clip into your binder, and then it comes with these little post-it notes, and you can move them around and change them per month. Today, this week, this month, so you can write little notes to yourself of things. If you don't want to do your project right at the beginning of the month, if you want to work on something, or if you're letting something kind of percolate, as I like to say, I think that's really clever. So I really appreciate that, especially as a person who loves planners, because it just reminds me of kind of like planner products. Her word phrase stickers are something I use all the time in my Project Life albums. They're one of my favorite decor things. So she has a sheet of those in here, and then some other decorative stickers, 2 sheets of each, and then another stamp set with just, you know, powerful words on them. And then, as if that wasn't enough, apparently I bought more. I'm showing you guys everything. She made her own little tabs. If you are an Allie Edwards devotee, you know that she loves the Avery index tabs to add, you know, like a flip element to her album or just an extra little thing. So they are working on making their own. So I really wanted to try those out. So I bought them. And what else? My goodness, Jennifer, I bought like everything. I bought some, these are like tags with decorative gold foiling on them, some transparent sheets, which I think will be really fun to use in other projects as well. Geez, I really went all out. You guys don't even remember. I must have blacked out when I placed this order. I just got excited. And then an acrylic take action phrase, some wooden veneer things, and then some binder clips. I also bought a shirt because I just thought it looked so cute. I bought this shirt. It says, "Kind heart, fierce mind, brave spirit." And I just thought this was kind of a really nice message and looks super comfy for when I'm a new mommy and have breast milk all over me. At least I'll have a nice shirt with breast milk all over me. Anyway, that's everything I bought. I'm gonna pop up to look at you now and talk you through kind of my thoughts on prepping for this project and how I'm going into it and my mindset and all. But I wanted to show you guys the products in case you're interested. Check out her website for more information. Whew, I bought a lot of things. I don't know what comes over me with Allie's products, but I just see them and I'm like, I need this and I need this and I need that and I need, but I end up using like almost all of them. There's some things in the kits that I won't use or gravitate towards because they just don't work for me. And in those cases, I donate those crafting items. But I will use products that are designed for one project for another. And that's the great thing about her products is they're all her designs, and so they all kind of go well together. So I use them for Project Life, I use them for my little independent albums that I do for Week in the Life and December Daily even sometimes, and all of that jazz. And I hope to be back with a December Daily update for you guys soon. I'm still wrapping that up. I got pretty sick at the end of the December and I couldn't keep up with the project, so I'm working on wrapping that up. And I hope to do a flip through with you guys soon because I know a lot of you enjoyed that last year and it's something I said I would do. So I've got my album. I'm ready. I'm going to do my prompt this weekend for January. It's the second weekend of January that I'm filming this, by the way. This video will go up a few days later. But I'm really excited. I'm excited to launch this project, to delve in. It's something that I prioritize making time for. Like I said, it's really only a couple hours once a month. So it's not like some all-consuming thing that just takes up, all your time and it just feels so overwhelming. It's very doable. It's very manageable, especially, well, really for anybody, but for busy people, for not busy people, you can totally do this. You can do this. And I can't say enough how impactful it is to carry a meaningful word to you throughout the year in such a thoughtful and reflective way. And Allie's class is really just focuses your mind right on it and keeps you focused on it in a very manageable way. It's not, like I said, it's not over, even like the act of crafting, if you want to do the crafty bits and all that, it's not overwhelming stuff. This is pretty, accessible to anybody. And you don't have to buy the products. You can use your own products. You can use a journal you have at home. You can just use your brain. You don't have to use stuff to do this project. I like the stuff, so I use it, and I choose to support her business in that way. So my word for this year is believe. And I talked a little bit about this in my New Year's goals video that I did for you guys last week. But for me, this really resonated with me. I was kind of stuck between two words, and I actually might use the other word next year. We'll have to see. It's hard to predict where you'll be in a year's time, but it's something I'm keeping in the back burner for next year. Believe to me was just a really powerful choice for this year because going in as a second-time new mommy, I say new mommy, I mean the mommy of a newborn. I'm going to be having a baby really any day now. So that's a very powerful transitional time that can be very difficult. It's amazing and awesome and magical and wonderful and all the good things in the world, but it's hard. It's hard being a mommy to a newborn. There's a lot of adjustments. There's a lot of just give and take, ebb and flow, and then also, having a 2-year-old and managing, you know, to keep our relationship intact and well and make sure her needs are met. And there's a lot of components. So Believed really spoke to me as from the mommy aspect, as believing in myself. I think there's just so much information. It's almost like information overwhelm these days, where there's so much information on the internet, so many opinion articles and books and blogs and videos and advice, and you should do this and don't do that and blah, blah, blah. There's so much. And then on top of it all, there's the usual stuff that's been around since the beginning of the time, which is other people telling you what to do, outwardly or covertly. You know, the judgment that gets passed on to parents, and the, oh, well, this is the way, and this is what works, and you're doing it wrong, and blah, 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 and this is how children are, and you need... What it boils down to in my experience is trust your instinct, trust your gut, do what works for you and your family, and just nod and smile at all the other stuff and be like, oh, that's great, thanks, thank you. Take what you want, take what you will. When I actively search out advice when I need it, and I don't accept it when I don't need it. Even if it's directed directly at me, I just, you know, I say, oh, that's great, wonderful, and then I let it slide. So I think believing in myself and believing in my gut and my instincts and just really just believing in myself is just really powerful for me at this stage in my life, in this season of my life. But there's other elements of that as well, and I went into much more detail of that in my New Year's goals video. But you know, some faith things, spirituality, believing in magic, believing in kindness, believing in love. There's just a lot of, I just felt really drawn to the word believe. So that's why I chose it for this year. And I think it will be a powerful cornerstone. Is that the right word? You know, a powerful central thing for me to come back to month after month. So that's what I'm starting with, and I can't wait to see how the year unfolds and how my journey with my word this year unfolds, because it's gonna be a wild ride, and I'm really excited for the year. I really am excited. There's a lot of change coming, and I'm welcoming it with open arms. And this project will help me stay grounded, and I know it will because it helped me so much this past year in 2017. It really, I can't say enough how much it helped me really find and keep my footing, which is something historically I've struggled with. So there you have it, you guys. I hope this gives you a good sense of the project. I can't recommend it enough. Again, I'll say it like 12 more times. But yeah, I would love to know if you're participating in this. Either if you're going to do the workshop or you just want to do your own thing and kind of do your own year-long reflection. I'd love to know what your word is if you feel open to sharing. I think that would be great if you want to leave a comment. I think that'd be so cool. I love seeing what other people choose. And if you want to talk a little bit about your reason why or not, you don't have to share, obviously, if you don't feel comfortable. But I'm so happy to be able to share this with you. So thank you for watching. I hope this was interesting to you in some way, and maybe gave you some ideas on how to embrace the new year, and in a thoughtful way, in a different kind of way, and in a very thoughtful way. And I hope you are all well. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope your year's off to a great start, and I will see you real soon. Bye, you guys. Take care.